The second implant to get its coverage in my implant tutorials is the Bombard Tactics Implant, a popular implant that is used by pilots of both drone ships and carriers. Whilst maybe not as popular as that subscribe button, its dual-purpose nature in supporting both drones and fighters makes it an excellent choice for today's video. So what does Bombard Tactics primarily do? Its primary skill, named after the implant itself, seems to be the theme with these implants, grants all unlaunched drones and fighters 5 levels, which in this video I will be referring to as charges, to avoid confusion with actually levelling up the implant. And I will bring it up on screen before I go any further and forget. As long as the drones or fighters have these charges, their damage is increased by the value shown on the implant, and in this case it is 120% bonus damage at level 15, with a maximum of 300% damage increase if the implant is levelled all the way up to level 45. Of course, this damage increase isn't a permanent one, and each hit reduces the number of charges remaining by 1. Once depleted, the drone or fighter's damage returns to normal levels and can only be replenished by returning the drones or fighters to the hangars and reactivating the implant's ability. During testing for this video, I found it impossible to get the new bonus damage to be reflected on the drone's damage profile, or fighter's damage profile, but in this case drones, because that's what I tested it on. It's only in practice that you will see the benefits of this implant, not in the fitting screen. Now, moving on to level 15, we have the choice between micro thruster and micro steel plate. The first, micro thruster, does exactly what you would expect of its name. It boosts the flight velocity of the drones and fighters by 40%, whereas micro steel plate, as I bring it up right now, increases the HP of drones and fighters by 100%. Both of these choices are passive and apply to your drones or fighters immediately. So the question remains, which one do you choose? If you're out in a ratting ship, watching your drones or fighters cross vast differences, for some reason I've got differences here on the script, wow, okay. Let's try that bit again. If you're out in a ratting ship, watching your fighters or drones cross vast distances when moving between enemy targets, then the micro thruster is an obvious choice. If, however, you're planning to be engaged in PvP or in a particular dormant realm whereby you expect your drones or fighters to be taking damage, granted them that extra 40% for HP for survivability will surely be a massive help with ensuring that you keep your damage levels up for as long as possible. The next choice up on the agenda is the level 30 passive skills, upgraded drone support and guided bombing. The first one, upgraded drone support, is simple. It reduces the cooldown time for the implant's main ability from 90 seconds down to 60 seconds. That's it. You get to use your ability slightly more often. Do bear in mind that you have to return your fighters and drones to their hangars, and many players will simply keep their minions out in space, as the damage gained from the implant is easily lost whilst they're not out actively in space shooting. And yeah, I have gotten bored at this point. I've started referring to the fighters and drones as minions for the rest of this video. I'll lose my voice if I keep on referring to them constantly as fighters and drones. So, minions. It works better. So, this is why the next choice is that much more appealing. Guided bombing, which I will bring up on screen right now before I get ahead of myself. This halves the amount of bonus damage that you get from your implant ability, but in return, you never have to return the minions to their hangars. That means when the ability comes off its cooldown, you can instantly use it again. No messing around trying to efficiently recall your minions. It also means that if you're somewhat forgetful like me, and you never activate the ability before launching your minions into space at the start of an engagement, you can still salvage something out of the implant. Of course, if you only expect to be using Bombard Tactics once in every fight, having its bonus damage output being halved might not work all that well for you, so think carefully before choosing one. And last up, at level 45, we have evasive maneuvers, which upon activation increases the flight velocity of your minions by 250% for 20 seconds, with a 90-second cooldown. If at level 15 you are struggling to decide between speed and HP, now you can pick both by combining evasive maneuvers with the micro steel plate. Alternatively, you can have the fastest minions in the cosmos for 20 seconds by combining it with the micro thruster passive trait and whatever micro warp drive or drone speed modules you happen to have in the low slots to increase the speed of your minions. Whatever your choice, be certain that you choose the combination that works best in the environment that you expect to be using your minions. So, what are my thoughts on this implant from the perspective of someone who has this currently levelled at level 15? Well, for Dormant Realms, whereby my minions could be attacked by NPCs, the ability to grant extra HP for that extra bit of survivability at no cost to the fittings can make all of the difference when it comes to trying to make those realms an ISK positive experience. Whilst outside of those Dormant Realms, by having that extra flight velocity, it comes in handy in both PvP and PvE environments. The bonus damage is nice to have on occasion, given that I actually remember to activate it before the fight starts, and as you can see with the current status of my implant, that shows you, with it being at level 98 when it comes to the repair quality, how very little I actually remember it. So having it at level 30, if I was to actually level it up that far, guided bombing would definitely be the choice I would personally make, because even at the cost of a reduced potential bonus damage, it just makes sense, because I'll actually be able to use the ability regardless of my state of mind. At level 45, however, with the ability to recall minions all that much faster, I would be tempted to change over to upgraded drone support, but I would have to run the numbers at the time to determine if it was ultimately a better decision or not. So you've made it this far through the video, past all the minions, and now simply want to know how to get your hands on this implant in-game. Well, you'll be glad to know that this implant is available as a first completion reward at levels 4 and level 7 in the Dormant Realms Surge attack, and we will go and demonstrate that right now by going into the Dormant Realm itself, into Surge attack. Enter. And once I have done it, I will be returning back to the implant screen because that's where all the cool music is. As you can see at level 4, Experimental Bombard Tactics, Clone Bound. And at level 7, just to finish off this demonstration, Basic Bombard Tactics, Clone Bound. So there we have them. And I shall now be returning to the implant screen just to get us that music back before I continue on with the script. Bombard Tactics, and we're back in. And of course, speaking about Bombard Tactics, this is a realm, well, I'm really goofing this part of the script up here, aren't I guys? So talking about Surge Attack that we've just been into, this is a realm that utilises smaller ships and is one of the more accessible realms to take part in. Alternatively, it can be found in the random rewards box from taking part in Imprisoned in Silence. But that is, however, a capital ship dormant realm, so in that case you might have better luck finding it on the in-game market or in an implant box during an event. So that is the meat and potatoes for this implant. But before I get to the end of the video, I'd like to ask a big favour of you guys. Well, actually a small favour. If this channel hits 500 subscribers, I can apply for access to the Eve Echoes test server. That is of course when I actually become an official content creator, which is in the works. It's just a very slow process getting the T's and I's dotted and crossed. I know the server itself has a special server name, whatever it may be, but access to it would be invaluable to this channel when I move on to the less familiar implants that I don't currently own in-game to test for myself. So please, if you want to see every implant, present and future, covered in this tutorial series, then hit that subscribe button. That's all I ask. So anyway, is there anything I've missed in this video? What implant would you like me to see me cover in the next video or in a future video? Feel free to let me know in the comment section below, and head over to that subscribe button. I know I've mentioned it a lot already, but it will help a great deal if you want to see these videos as they go live. Anyway, until the next video, fly dangerous but casual in New Eden.